What if I told you that you could make money selling books on Amazon without any written words inside? No, seriously, you can do this with what's known as the low content business model. Low content books contain little to no text or even images. Think of composition notebooks, journals, and sketchbooks. There's usually a catchy saying on the front of the cover, and the interior, it's usually just 100 of the same pages. Pretty simple, right? Best of all, people like you and me who are not published authors are now turning this business model into a passive income outlet using a popular software called BookBolt. BookBolt is the software solution that will help you create and scale a book publishing business without writing a single word. With numerous tools and hundreds of templates, it's the one-stop shop to bring your low-content book to life. There's zero risk, no experience needed, and as long as you have an internet connection, this can be done from anywhere in the world. Now, before I go ahead and show you exactly how to do this, you're probably thinking, how does this process work? To start, you can use BookBolt to research trending low-content books like notebooks and journals to give you an idea of what to sell. Next, you'll create your very own cover and interior with BookBolt's user-friendly developer tool, and then you'll upload it as a PDF file on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, better known as KDP. There are no upfront costs other than the software itself, and you don't have to worry about printing off these books for each order, because Amazon's going to take care of that for you. Amazon is going to take your PDF file and turn it into a physical book when orders come in. The buyer will receive a physical copy of the book in the mail, and Amazon will then pay you a royalty for that sale. So now that you understand how the low content business model works using Amazon KDP and BookBolt, let's jump right in so I can show you exactly how to do every single step. Alright, so here we are on the main page when you sign into your BookBolt account. At the very end of this video, once we've completed our book, we've used the developer tool and we've figured out what we were actually going to sell on Amazon using KDP, I'll actually go into the pricing plan so you can get a better idea of which plan is going to be best for you. And stay till the very end because I also have a coupon code in case you're interested in starting this side hustle. Once you've signed up for your BookBolt account, you're going to be greeted with this main page, which is very useful because there are a lot of great tutorials on here already to really help you understand product search, seller search, how to understand the cloud feature, which we're about to get into. So the team at BookBolt really looks to help you out as much as they can with a lot of tutorials as well as weekly calls that you can jump on there. So to get started, we need to figure out what type of book that we want to be selling, what type of low content book. And now the most useful feature to get this all started is the cloud feature to the left here. So click that. And then you'll see a bunch of different filters that we can change in order to refine our search. So for the best sellers, I like to keep this at the top 100. That provides you plenty of potential sellers and different books to take a look at. Now, category might be one of the most important ones because this really refines what type of product you're going to be taking a look at, what type of low content book. Now, I've looked at notebooks, I've looked at journals, I looked at all of these, and as you can tell, there's a lot of different books that you can create with this software. But for today's tutorial, I'm going to be taking a look at journals just because I've noticed that there are a lot of notebook tutorials already on YouTube for this software. So let's go ahead and take a look at journals and we can see what we can find. This right here is your best sellers rank. This is the ranking for that listing of those products that we're about to take a look at. You can filter this up to an extremely large number, or you can filter it down to a smaller best sellers rank. The lower that this rank is, the more daily sales you're going to see and the more ratings for that listing of those books. Now, I usually keep this at what it's preset at, which is around this number. You're going to be met with, really the top 20,000 is what you're going to be taking a look at and actually considering. Now, for the price range, this does go from 0 to 100. You can leave it at this if you wish to see more results, but I'm going to actually refine this search down just a step, down to about $20. Because if you think of low content books, they're very simple, they're not expensive. It's very rare that you're going to find a low content book above $20, $30. So more than likely, we're going to be selling our book between $5 and $10, I would guess, depending on the number of pages, if it's paperback, hardback, which we'll get into. Lastly, this is optional here. These are your keywords you can add. So if you know that you want to sell let's just say a sports journal. You could type in sports journal here, and it's just going to show you the bestsellers for the sports journal type of product. I'm going to leave this empty so we can go ahead and we can just look at all the results and really get a broad idea of what we want to be selling. So click search, and within a couple seconds, you're going to be met with all of these different books. As you can see, I'm going to start scrolling down here just to see if anything catches my eye. I'm looking for something on the cover that is something that's easy to replicate. I'm not going to copy these covers. That's very important not to do that. You want this to be original, but this gives you an idea to brainstorm. So I'm looking for something that's simple that I could create with this software tool. It's not going to require hours and hours or days of my time. This one's fairly simple, the Shadow Work Journal. To give you an idea of what all these metrics are here, this is the bestsellers rank, 3,971. They're making about 474 monthly sales. So if you take a look at a calculator, you can get an idea of what they're actually making at $15.99 times 474. So they're making about $7,500 in revenue per month. That does not include the royalty fee or the printing fees, which we'll get into. But you can see there's a lot of great data that BookBolt presents you to allow you to analyze these top sellers and to make a decision. So I jumped ahead a little bit after looking through these quite extensively because you really want to put a lot of time in your research so you know that you're going to be able to sell a profitable product. Now this one really caught my eye on the left here. It's a simple journal. It says, "From tiny seeds grow mighty trees." Now I'll scroll down and take a look at the metrics here. They're priced at $7. They have under 10,000 bestsellers rank, which is a criteria for me personally, and they have estimated monthly sales at $420. Now to get an idea on their monthly revenue, about $3,000 in revenue. Again, imagine if you could create 3 of these. You're already looking at close to $10,000 in revenue per month, and once you create these low content books, that's all you have to do because again, Amazon's going to take care of the rest for you. So I like this opportunity. I'm going to actually go ahead and click this title now, which will take me to the Amazon listing page. So we're met with the listing page here, and as you can see, here's the title, "From Tiny Seeds Grow Mighty Trees," and it looks like this is a gift journal, teacher notebook, inspirational teacher gifts and journal. So it looks like this is really targeting students or adults who are trying to get a journal gift for their teacher near the end of the year or the beginning of the year. I like this opportunity, and this is a great product, a great gift to give somebody that is a teacher. Now, what I always like to do is take a look inside to see if this is truly a low content book or is someone actually putting a lot of work into the interior and changing each page. Ideally, and before we take a look at the inside here, we want to make sure that it's a low content book and it's easy to replicate. So we can make that cover, that's not bad, and then perfect, look at this. This is just lined paper. So there's probably 100 or so pages of lined paper, and you have a front and a back. That's it. That's what makes this such a great side hustle, is because it's very easy to create one of these books using BookBolt, and you can go ahead, publish it, and you don't have to worry about it ever again, and you can just watch the money come in as you end up making sales. So I think this is a great opportunity, and I'm going to go ahead with this tutorial with this in mind, this teacher gift journal, and we can go ahead and start that right now. Now that we've narrowed down our results, I want to do one last research check on the keywords to understand what the Amazon search results looks like in the search volume to see if this is something that is actually going to provide a good opportunity. What I'll do now is I'll go to the bottom left here where it says keywords. Select that and then select search. This is going to take you to their BookBolt's keyword search tool, and it's going to provide us with all the keywords for whatever we type in for our main keyword. And it's going to show us a bunch of different keywords that we could use on our listing and also give us an idea on the search volume. So I'll type in teacher gift journal because that's really what we are selling here. So in the bottom here, we see our keywords, a bunch of different keywords, long tail keywords and phrases. This is your Amazon search volume. This is your Google search volume for what people are typing on Google. Your cost per click for advertising, and then competition. If there's enough data, BookBolt is able to analyze if it's high, medium, or low competition. Now, what I always do is I like to just focus on the Amazon search volume. It's nice to have the Google search volume there, but what's really important is what customers are typing in on Amazon's search bar to find this type of product. So I'll filter in descending orders with the highest search volume at the top. We can see teachers gifts, and then there's one here which really resembles what we are trying to accomplish. the gift journal for teacher. Now I really like that keyword, and so what I'll do is I'll look at the search volume here, over 6,000. That is fairly high for a low content book, and this is really tied into directly what we are trying to sell. So this is a final assurance point that customers are searching for this type of product enough to actually make this an opportunity worth pursuing. Now we can get into the fun part, which is actually creating our cover and then selecting our interior template. And we're gonna actually create this book, and then we're gonna ultimately upload it using Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. So to begin creating our book, we'll click the upper left here where it says research, which is what we're doing right now, and we'll select create. This brings up 3 different tools that BookBolt provides you in order to create a puzzle, a cover interior, and a lot more. So we'll go ahead and click BookBolt Designer, which will allow us to create the cover. You'll be asked to sign in, so sign in first. And once you sign in, you'll be asked a couple different questions on how to create this template. If you're gonna do paperback or hardcover, make sure you select that. For this tutorial, and what I recommend is paperback. For the cover or interior, we're gonna create our cover, and then we'll use a template that BookBolt provides you. They have hundreds of different templates to create our interior. I do not want to worry about that right now to actually customize my interior. So select cover there, and then trim size. This is the actual dimensions, the 2 dimensions for your book that you're about to create. 6x9 is very popular. If you want the letter size, 8.5 by 11 inches, that's also another popular one, but I like this 6x9, so I'd recommend going ahead and doing that. For paper color, I recommend doing black and white paper. It's much easier for Amazon to use this to print on. And then page count, ultimately up to you. I recommend doing 100 pages for a journal or a notebook, but if you're doing a coloring book or a sketchbook, it might be slightly less or it might be slightly more. It's ultimately up to you. So go ahead and click submit. And now BookBolt is going to create this template for you to create your cover or whatever the filters that you selected. This usually takes about, I say 20 to 30 seconds, so just give it some time, and we'll go ahead and see our blank cover here in a second. Perfect, so here we go. Here is our blank cover. This salmon pink color lines up here, this is your bleed zone. You do not want to put anything in this zone because it may not actually be printed out once Amazon goes ahead and takes your PDF and prints that cover. So stay within this white space. That way you can make sure that all of your content and your text is actually going to be visible to the customer. So now I'm really thinking about, what do I want to create? I do have this one right here that this seller is currently selling. One thing I just want to mention again, do not copy someone's artwork. That is copyrighted material. That is illegal, so do not do that. And I found that the best type of covers in low content books are the ones that are original and unique to the market, that really provides you the best opportunity to make a large volume of daily sales. So I know that this is for teachers, and I know that this is going to be a gift. So I want to think about what I want my background to be. I don't want it to be blank, but I want it to still be somewhat simple and not too complex. So I like to go to the images. If you click resources here, you can actually search for thousands and thousands of images that are presented to you, and BookBolt actually gives you a license to use these. So I'm going to type in teacher, just type in teacher gift, maybe too much. So as we see here, we're met with a bunch of different images. I'm going to scroll down until I see something that catches my eye. I like this one right here. This one is fairly simple. It gives me some white space that I can actually put some text in a inspirational saying. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to show you how easy this is to actually drag and drop. So I'll put this in the bleed zone. Remember, this probably will not be printed. That's in this salmon color. And then I'll use the bottom right here to scale it. And then there we go. So I think that looks good right about there. I might make it a little larger. Perfect. Now, if you're unaware, the right side here, this is going to be the front of the cover, and the left side here is going to be the back of the cover. So think about this just folding in. So now I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm thinking I need a catchy saying. I need something inspirational that will attract a customer to say, yes, that would be a great gift. And also, it will just give it a better presentation on this front cover. So I'm going to put my text right here. Now, me personally, I'm not full of inspirational sayings, so I'm going to turn to Google and actually search for some inspirational teaching quotes that would be actually suitable to put here. All right, after a couple of minutes of looking for an inspirational quote, I found one that I think would be a very great line to put on this top of this cover. Now it says, "It takes a big heart to help shape little minds." That's a very touchy-feely teaching quote. I think that'd be a great addition here. So I'm going to copy this text here, and then I'm going to turn over here to the text tab in the developer tool. This is a bunch of different cool preset text that you can go ahead with different fonts. As you can see here, they have over 1,000 fonts that you can select from. Really, they have a lot, and you can even upload them if you have a specific font that you want to use. So I'll go ahead and I'll just select this one here to get us started, and then I'll paste it. So the last thing that you want to do is go ahead, throw some text in here, and then just format it into the top here. That does not look good, and this is not a cover that is going to attract customers, and it's ultimately not going to lead to sales. We really need to think about how to make this unique and creative. So what I like to do, and it's very similar to what this seller actually did, is they use two different texts with some cursive. They used a heart there. I do like that, and I'm going to actually use that creative inspiration to go ahead and make something, something similar, because this seller knows what's working. They have great reviews, over 200 reviews, and a large volume of daily sales. I'm going to accelerate this a little bit just so you don't have to watch me type this text in, but I used two different fonts here. I used one that is Oswald for these ones where it says "it takes" and to help shape. And then I use this cursive petite formal script for these two, with this one bolded. Now what I'd like to do, I'd like to emphasize a big heart, because this all kind of blends together and it's not that eye-opening and attractive when a customer's scrolling through the different listings. So I'll click this where it says a big heart, and on the right-hand side, you can actually change the text color. Now, there's a bunch of different preset ones here. If you know the color code, you can actually type that in, or what I like to do? I like to just type in red, and BookBolt is able to quickly find that hex code. So there we go. It takes a big heart to help shape little minds. Looking better, right? Now I'm going to turn over to the shapes here on the left-hand side, and BookBolt provides you with a bunch of different shapes that you can go ahead and use. So I like this heart one because we're talking about a big heart, and I'm actually going to size this right here to fill in this white space. So put that there. And then this doesn't look good with black, so let's go ahead and change the color. If it's for a shape, the color is going to be up here. Same thing though, let's just type in red. I want that to be the same color as a big heart, and look at that. So that looks pretty professional, and all it really took was about 10 to 15 minutes of my time to go ahead, really think about what I wanted to do with this cover. I found an image using the image selector here. I searched for the image, I put that on the page, and then I added some text with two different fonts and one shape. It's honestly not a lot of hard work. I know that you can do this. Take your time with the cover and really think about how you're going to attract customers, because a unique cover is what is going to lead to those sales. All right, now let's download this as a PDF. They make it very easy. In the upper left-hand corner here, you can click download. It's going to prepare this, it's going to export it, and then it's going to allow you to download it as a PDF file. Once it's been exported, go ahead and click download. It will likely bring it up in a new tab, or Adobe Acrobat, whatever program you have. All you have to do if you have Google Chrome is to click save, and it's going to save it to your downloads. And click save. Great, so we have our cover now, but we're missing our interior, the actual 100 pages of what's inside, the meat and potatoes, let's just call it. So in the upper left-hand corner here, there's another where it says Interior and Interior Pro. So we'll select Interior, and you're going to be met with a bunch of different interior templates, everything from to-do lists to blank pages to savings trackers. There's really everything on here that you could imagine. So let's go ahead and find the actual journal page that we want. I might just do Control F here and type in journal so I can search through all of these different types of journal pages. Recipe journal, scuba diving journal, not applicable, coffee journal, dream, food. There we go, gratitude journal. I like this one. So it looks like there's a quote of the day, what you're grateful for. That is something that I could see a teacher being appreciative of and actually using, which is ultimately, what we want here. So I'll go ahead, I'll select gratitude journal, and then let's go ahead and change our settings. Now the first setting that we have to change is no bleed or bleed. Remember, we did the bleed because we have the salmon colored lines on the outside of our cover. So go ahead and click bleed, and then you'll get to the paperback here. We are a 6x9 book. Remember, that's what we put in our settings when we were doing the cover. Make sure that matches up. Page count. Remember, we put 100 before, so this is going to export 100 pages of this gratitude journal. Go ahead and click download, and very quickly you're going to be met with 100 pages for the interior of your book. Go ahead and click save. So now we have everything that we need to actually create our book and to upload it to Amazon KDP. One last thing I want to mention though is this Interior Pro tool here. So say you don't want 100 pages of the exact same, you can actually go ahead and select different pages and you can add as many as you want. So page 2, I actually want this to be a tracker for page 2 and 3. And then page 4, I want to be, a career plan. So you can really go ahead and be creative. This is a really great tool if you want to get more creative in your interior and not just a bunch of the same pages. If you're able to do this, I would assume that you can actually increase your sales price of your book since it's not just a very minimal, low content book. So something worth noting here. All right, so now that we have our cover and our interior of our book, we have a complete PDF book at this moment. Let's go ahead and upload this using Amazon KDP. Now, you have to create an account. You may actually already have an Amazon affiliate account that you could use, but you will have to go ahead and come here and to sign up. It's completely free. You do have to provide some information because they are going to pay you, but make sure that you go ahead, create your account, and then once you've done that, make sure you log in here where it says sign in. After you've done that, this is your main page. This is going to show you all of your different books that you have here. This is the draft that we're about to create. I just wanted to do this in advance to make sure that I have all the correct information in there. So we'll go ahead and for your first title, you want to go ahead and click create right here. And it's going to ask you, what are you trying to create here? An ebook, paperback, hardcover. We remember what our settings before for our cover and interior. It was paperback, so click create paperback. So there are 3 main tabs here, the details, content, and rights and pricing. We're going to get into every single step and what you need to put here. The first one here is your book title. This is a very important one that you want to put in here. You do not want to just add, for me, teacher journal gift. That's really not enough. If we go back to that one listing we took a look at, their title is right here. It's the actual saying on the cover. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and type in our quote here. So our title is, "It takes a big heart to shape little minds, teacher journal gift." Next is your subtitle. This is an optional field that you can put information in. I do recommend putting more keywords in here and stuff that actually is going to resemble your book. Now I'm going to jump back to the BookBolt and go back to our keywords here. So if you need to get back there, just click research and then select keywords. And you can type in your keywords if it's not already up from our previous search. Now what's awesome on the right hand side here is the most frequent keywords based on what we searched. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll copy and paste some of these most popular ones into my subtitle and clean these up. So go ahead and do that. Maybe add 3 to 5 keywords in there, long tail keywords that you want to put in there. All right, so there we go. And I separate them by a comma. Next is your series. This is not a series, so I don't have to worry about that section. This is optional. Edition number, this is another optional one. Skip over that and go to author. So you can go ahead and you can put your company in here, you can put your name in here, whatever you're comfortable with. This will show up, I'll show you where it's going to show up, right here where it says Happy Eating Company. This is going to show up there publicly, so if you don't want your name out there, do not put your full name or just put your company name. I'm going to actually put debt to dollars for the author name. Contributors, is there anyone else that helped you work on this book? You can leave that blank if there's no one else, if it was just yourself. And we'll skip down to the description here. This section will describe to your customers what it is that you're selling and what the customer is ultimately going to receive. If we jump back to this listing here, you can see they wrote about a paragraph. You can actually format it to make it look cleaner than this, which I'd recommend. But they go into what this is. It's an inspirational teacher journal. It's a gift, and then also some features here. So what I recommend doing is going ahead and using the bullet point feature, and you can put bullet points just to make it clean and easy to read. So we'll jump ahead here for my 4 bullet points. I have in here, give your favorite teacher a gift to show your appreciation, premium matte finish soft cover. It's printed on white paper, 6 by 9 inches, 100 line pages, made in the US of A since it's being manufactured and printed out here. So, something simple. Do not skip over this step. Make sure you put something in there and feel free to add as much information and description as you wish. Next are the publishing rights. You can say that I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. BookBolt gives you the full authority and copyright privileges for even though you're using their software to create this cover and interior. As soon as you export it, as long as you have an active license, you can go ahead and you can take ownership of that product. All right, and then keywords, let's go back to our keyword search. And what I recommend doing is I recommend looking through these to see if there's any low competition ones that have a high search volume. And I would go ahead and I would copy and paste those. So like this one's a good one, gift journal for teacher. And I'd go ahead and paste that in there. Make sure you choose up to 7 keywords, and I recommend doing all 7. Do not get lazy and just do 1 or 2. You might as well do it all because it's really going to help your search engine optimization and your listing discoverability. All right, I put all 7 of mine in there, and we have 2 more things we have to select. The first here, where it says categories, is we can choose up to 2 categories where our book is going to be, categorized, if you will. So you can click choose categories, and then you take a look at all this. This is terrible because it's really difficult to understand. In my nonfiction, fiction, obviously that's easier to tell, but as soon as you click nonfiction, there's just a bunch of subcategories and more subcategories beyond that point. So I recommend actually using BookBolt because they provide you with yet another awesome feature here where it says KDP categories. This is in the research tab here. So select that. It's going to open up a new window, and then let's type in our product or our long tail keyword that we've been using. Teachers. Teacher gift journal. Let's just do that. Click search. Within a couple seconds, it's going to tell you exactly what category is the most relevant to your keywords / your product. So the first one here has a medium relevance, literary collections, diaries, and journals. So for the first one, literary collections. Let's jump back here. There it is, literary collections. And then the second one was diaries and journals, which is our subcategory here. So we'll scroll down until we find it. There it is. Got lost there for a second. So you can go ahead and you can just select one category. That's totally fine. Or you can go ahead and select 2 categories. I will show you how to do that as well. Jump back here and we'll take this second one. This one's a little deeper down, if you will, nonfiction, and then language arts, and then journalism. So let's go ahead and try to find that one. So nonfiction, and then language arts, got it. And then we're looking for journalism. There we go, journalism. So now we can see the bottom here, we've selected 2 categories that our product can fall under. Click save. And then it says, does your book classify as any of these types? It is a low content book, so we'll select that. And then lastly is our adult content. Is there any in this book? If you had a swear word, you may want to say yes, this is adult content, as we probably saw when we were searching for some of them. But ours is totally fine and suitable for children, so we'll select no. This does not contain any language, situations, or inappropriate images. All right, so that's step 1. Click save and continue. And that's going to take us to the next step, which is the content. So the first one here is your print ISBN, which is your barcode that goes on the back of the book. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like on this one. So this is their ISBN down here. Now to get that barcode with low content books, you can go ahead and actually use your own and purchase an ISBN, or you can actually publish it without, which is what I'd recommend because this is going to save you money. Go ahead and select this for your low content book, and then we'll move down. Publication date, you can do today's date. Today's June 1st for me. We'll put that there. And then for this section, this is really your print options. You can customize this. It is going to adjust your printing cost, but I'm going to show you a way to do this as inexpensive as possible without sacrificing quality. We'll leave this selected where it says black and white interior with white paper. It's a 6x9. It already knew that somehow. It must be the most popular size, but you can go ahead and select a different size if you need to. That works for us. No bleed or bleed. You want to do bleed because it is a PDF and there's going to be some bleeding for the printing on the edges there. Paperback cover finish, I recommend doing matte finish for the cover. Glossy tends to be a little bit more expensive and not as clean, so go ahead and select matte. Now here we go. Let's put our book together. It's very easy to do so. First is your manuscript. This is your interior. So click upload paperback manuscript, and then we have 2 files here. One is the 100 pages that are on the inside, and the other is the 6x9 cover. So this one, Gratitude Journal, this is our interior. It's going to take a couple of seconds, if not minutes, for this to upload. Just give it a second and look at this. Went quicker than I thought. So that's been uploaded. And then next is the book cover. You have 2 options. You can use Amazon KDP's cover creator to make your book cover, which I do not recommend. It's not as user-friendly as BookBolt, and you barely have a whole lot of stock images and text to use. So I jump down to where it says upload a cover that you already have. Click upload, and then we're going to select our cover from BookBolt. All right, so everything's been uploaded. You have to go ahead and click Launch Previewer to get an idea of what the book is going to look like and just to approve the design. You don't want to be surprised when customers start leaving bad reviews and you actually haven't even looked at your design. Once that takes a minute to load, you'll see your cover here. Just do a quick check. This is the barcode here that is not the ISBN, but it's the barcode that Amazon assigned us. That looks good there. And yeah, the text, everything looks clean. So I'll go ahead and click the right arrow here to take a look. This is actually opening up the book. Our first page here is blank, and our second page here is the interior. So again, these are all the same. That's what makes this a low content book, and it looks great. Perfect. So I'll go ahead in the bottom right hand corner here, I'll select approve. And then once you approve it, if you scroll down to the bottom, it's going to tell you how much it costs to actually print this book. So take a look at your printing cost here, $2.15 per book on Amazon.com. That's very cheap, and it already goes ahead and for all the other global markets converts that to the currency. If you want to reduce your printing costs or see if I had a glossy cover, how much is that going to increase it? You can go ahead and do that at this time. You can make different selections to see how that all affects your printing cost. I'm happy with $2.15. That is a very low cost. So I'll go ahead and I'll click save and continue. All right, and the final step that we have to do is this rights and pricing. This one's much more simple than the previous two. For territories, select all territories. That way we can sell worldwide. Our primary marketplace is where you're actually located. For us, it's in the US, so Amazon.com. And then pricing, royalty, and distribution. So what are we going to list our product at, our low content book? I would recommend doing some research using the tool here on the cloud. Go ahead and see what the other sellers in that area, in that market, in that category are selling as. But we can also jump back to this one that we previously took a look at, and they're selling theirs for $6.99 as a paperback. That's pretty similar and probably a fair price of what we should be selling ours at. So if we did $6.99, it's going to quickly convert this to the local currencies for all the other domains, and then it will tell you here what the rate is. So this 60%, this is what we are actually going to earn, the royalty. So we'll make $2.04 per book. Now, I know you might be thinking, that's it? $2.04? Yes, but that's still a lot of money. So take a look at this. We pull out our calculator here, and we take that 204, and then we multiply it by the 420 sales, which is what that other seller we keep taking a look at, what they make per month. So that's $856.80 is what you're actually going to make in profit. That's a good bit of money. That's $1,000 if you're able to reach those numbers. Now imagine if we had 5 of those books selling at the same rate. Quickly looking at over $4,000 in actual passive income. And I do not use that word lightly because I rarely use the word passive income, but this is true passive income after you've created these books because they will last on your lifetime. And as you can see from this seller, they've been selling since June 4th, 2018. They've not made any changes, but yet they're still making close to $1,000, if not more, in profit per month. That's really the beauty of this. Go ahead and you can create a couple books and quickly make a couple $1,000s in true passive income. Okay, and the last thing we want to do is scroll down here where it says terms and conditions. It can take up to 72 hours for your book to become available to purchase. But once the book status changes to live, you're going to be ready to sell, and you're going to be an actual author, which is pretty cool. So go ahead in the bottom right here, click publish your paperback book. It's going to save it, it's going to export it, and it's going to list your product to be able to sell. So there we go. We have a published book. It has been submitted. That is the cover. It looks great. Debt to Dollars is now an official author, which is, again, that's pretty cool to see. And we can see our title and subtitle here. Perfect. All right, one last thing I want to discuss is just the pricing and how you can actually get a discount on this awesome software. So this is bookbolt.io. I have a direct link in the description that was going to take you to the pricing plans as well as provide you a discount. So if you select pricing, you scroll down to the 2 different plans. There's a newbie and a pro, and each one gives you a 3-day free trial. This is a free trial and it gives you full privileges to go ahead and create your books. So I recommend starting out with a free trial, and then after 3 days, go ahead with the newbie one, which is what I'd recommend starting out as. And then if you actually want to start creating puzzles, which is another very great opportunity to begin selling in, then you can upgrade to the Pro plan. That's what I would personally recommend. And make sure whenever you go through the free trial, type in the promo code DEBT2, all one word. I also have that in the description. That way you can receive a discount. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was a very in-depth tutorial on how you can actually make passive income using BookBolt and Amazon KDP.